Picture this. You're scrolling through social media and suddenly everyone's doing the same dance. Within hours, millions are copying the moves, posting videos, completely obsessed. Now imagine that same viral energy, but instead of stopping after a few days, it doesn't stop at all. Welcome to 1518 Strasbourg, where what started as one woman dancing in the street turned into the most bizarre epidemic in human history. And yes, people literally danced themselves to death. It began on a scorching July morning when Frau Trophea stepped out of her house and just started dancing. No music, no celebration, no reason anyone could see. She danced all day in the cobblestone streets while her husband watched in horror. Her feet bled. Her body screamed for rest, but she couldn't stop. The townspeople gathered, probably thinking she'd lost her mind. But here's where it gets really weird. Within days, 30 more people joined her. They didn't choose to dance. They literally couldn't help themselves. Think about that for a second. Imagine your body moving against your will, your feet tapping to a rhythm only you can hear, while your mind begs for it to stop. That's exactly what happened to nearly 400 people in Strasbourg. The city council panicked. I mean, how do you handle a spontaneous rave where people are dying from exhaustion? Their first brilliant idea? Get more musicians. Fight fire with fire, right? If people are compulsively dancing, maybe more music will tire them out faster. Spoiler alert, this backfired spectacularly. The live music just attracted more dancers and made the existing ones move even more frantically. It was like throwing gasoline on a fire and wondering why everything's burning brighter. So they pivoted to plan B. Clearly, this was God's punishment for sin. Out went the gambling houses, the brothels, anyone with a questionable reputation. They even donated a £100 candle to the cathedral, one candle for 400 dancing people. The saints were apparently unimpressed. Then came the full medieval crackdown. Dancing, banned, music, banned except quiet string instruments at weddings, and absolutely no drums or tambourines. 30 shillings fine if you so much as tapped your foot to a beat. They literally went full footloose on an entire city. But here's the thing that'll blow your mind. This wasn't even the first time. In 1374, Aachen experienced something similar. Hundreds of people holding hands in circles, dancing until they collapsed. The authorities blamed demonic possession and brought in exorcists with holy water and incantations. And naturally, when all else failed, they blamed the women. A physician named Psychosis later claimed Frau Trophea started the whole thing to avoid doing housework. Yeah, because women are famous for dancing their feet bloody, to avoid laundry. The logic checks out, right? The cure that finally worked. They loaded all the dancers onto wagons, hauled them up a mountain to St. Vitus's shrine, and gave them blessed red shoes. And somehow, miraculously, it worked. The dancing stopped. So what really happened? Modern experts have theories. Grain poisoning, mass epilepsy, secret cults. But the most likely explanation? Mass hysteria in a city that was absolutely falling apart. Think about Strasbourg in 1518. 5 famines in 25 years. Smallpox outbreaks, 300 new orphans, food prices through the roof. People were stressed, traumatized and desperate. When one person's psychological break manifested as uncontrollable dancing, others followed. Not because they wanted to, but because their minds were already on the edge. It's not that different from what we see today. Social media challenges that spread like wildfire, mass panic over rumours, entire communities convinced they're experiencing the same symptoms. The human mind, especially under stress, is incredibly susceptible to collective influence. The dancing plague ended when people believed it would end. Those blessed red shoes weren't magic, they were hope. Sometimes that's all the mind needs to break free from its own prison. Here's what's really haunting. In our hyper-connected world, we're more vulnerable to mass hysteria than ever. The same psychological forces that made medieval people dance to death can make modern people believe conspiracy theories, panic over phantom threats, or obsess over viral trends until they're genuinely harmful. The next time you see something spreading rapidly through social media, ask yourself, is this real? Or are we all just dancing to the same invisible rhythm? Because 400 people in Strasbourg thought they had no choice either. The beat goes on, but now we know we can choose whether to dance.